Hello friends, welcome to video lecture on fluid mechanics. In today's session, we learn about flow through pipes. Under this, we'll cover loss of energy in pipe, that is minor losses. Let us say minor energy losses. The loss of head or energy due to friction in pipe is known as major loss, while the loss of energy due to change of velocity of the following fluid in magnitude or direction is called minor loss of energy. The minor loss of energy includes the following cases. First one, loss of head due to sudden enlargement, loss of head due to sudden contraction, loss of head at the entrance of a pipe, loss of head at the exit of a pipe, loss of head due to an obstruction in a pipe, loss of head due to bend in the pipe, loss of head in various pipe fittings. In case of long pipe, the above cases are small as compared with the loss of head due to friction, and hence they are called minor losses, and even may be neglected without serious error. But in case of a short pipe, these losses are comparable with the loss of head due to friction. So let us start the loss of head due to sudden enlargement. Consider a liquid flowing through a pipe which has sudden enlargement as shown in this figure. Consider the two sections, section 1 at this spot and section 2 at this spot, means before and after the enlargement. Let P1, V1, A1 are the pressure intensity at section 1, velocity of flow at section 1, and area of pipe at section 1. Similarly, P2, V2, A2 corresponding values at section 2 due to sudden change of diameter of the pipe from D1 to D2, the fluid flowing from the smaller pipe is not able to flow the abrupt change of the boundary. Thus the flow separates from the boundary and turbulent eddies are formed. So as shown in this figure, the flow separates from the boundary, and so here the turbulence will occur. The loss of head takes place due to the formation of this eddies. Let P dash, pressure intensity of the liquid eddies on the area A2 minus A1. So whatever the area of this one, area of cross section here and area of cross section here, okay, if you take the difference of this one, so you can get the P dash, that is the pressure intensity of the liquid eddies on the this area. Okay, so HE indicate the loss of head due to sudden enlargement. So applying Bernoulli's equation at section 1 and section 2, so we can get this in this way: P1 divided by rho g plus V1 square divided by twice g plus Z1 equals to P2 divided by rho g plus V2 square divided by 2g plus Z2 plus loss of head due to sudden enlargement. So in this case, as the pipe is horizontal, you can just say Z1 equals to Z2. Okay, so this Z1 and Z2 get cancelled and the remaining part is in front of you. So from this one we can get the HE. So for that HE we can get in this way: P1 divided by rho g minus P2 divided by rho g plus V1 square divided by twice g minus V2 square divided by twice g. Consider the control volume of liquid between section 1 and 2, then the force acting on the liquid in the control volume in the direction of flow is given by, so this force can be given by this relation: Fx equals to P1 multiplied by A1. So this is the reverse direction with us, that's why the minus sign given for this one, minus P2 A2, and this P dash indicate the pressure intensity of the liquid eddies on the area A2 minus A1. So we can get this one P dash into A2 minus A1. But experimentally it is found that P dash equals to A1. Okay. Now you can get this relation this way. Fx equals to P1 A1 plus, instead of writing that P dash, we can write P1 into A2 minus A1 minus P2 A2. So after simplification, you can get in this way P1 A1. So multiply by this P1 term to inside terms. So P1 multiply by A2 minus P1 multiply by A1 minus P2 A2. So here P1 A1 and minus P1 A1 get cancelled. So remaining part is in front of you. P1 into A2 minus P2 into A2. Just take this A2 as common. Now the momentum of liquid per second at section 1 is nothing but the mass multiplied by velocity. So what's about the mass? Mass is nothing but here in this case rho into A1 multiplied by V1 and velocity with us V1. So we can get the momentum of liquid per second in this way, rho multiplied by A1 multiplied by V1 square. Okay, similarly you can get the momentum of liquid per second at section 2. Okay, so in this way we can instead of writing suffix as 1, we can just replace that 1 by 2 and we can get this relation this way, rho multiplied by A2 V2 square. Okay, so change in momentum per second is nothing but the difference of this term in this one. So rho A2 V2 square minus rho A1 V1 square. Okay, now but from the continued equation we know this one A1 V1 equals to A2 V2, or can get this A1 equals to A2 V2 divided by A1. So from this relation, change of momentum per second is nothing but rho A2 V2 square minus, can replace this one rho A1, this term A1 should be replaced by this one A2 V2 divided by V1. This term is written as it is. Okay, so this one V1 V1 actually get cancelled here. Okay, and just see the remaining one here written here, rho A2 V2 square, this term written as it is. Okay, so 1 actually V1 get cancelled, so we can write this in this way, rho A2 V1 into V2. Okay, so what's about this one, rho A2 you have to take a common, and what are the remaining terms you have to write inside of the bracket. So V2 square minus V1 into V2. Now net force acting on the control volume in the direction of flow must be equal to the rate of change of momentum or change of momentum per second. Hence equating equation number 2 and equation number 3. So equate this equation with this one. What we get here, P1 minus P2 into A2 equals to this term rho into A2 into V2 square minus V1 into V2. So from this relation we can write in this way, P1 minus P2 divided by rho equals to V2 square minus V1 by V2. If I take this V2, if I cancel this A2 from both the sides, you can get this relation this way, dividing G on both the sides. So what do we get here, P1 minus P2 divided by rho G equals to V1 square minus V1 into V2 divided by G, or can just write this in this way, P1 by rho G minus P2 by rho G equals to this term written as it is. Substituting the value of this one in equation number 1 with us here. Okay, so this actually relation with us, for that already this relation is obtained. We have to substitute that relation in equation number 1. In this way you can get that relation, V2 square minus V1 into V2 divided by G plus, so what's about the next part? The next part already with us here from equation number 1. This is actually next part with us. To substitute this part here. Okay, now just take the base common here. Okay, and simplify this one. So you can get this HE equals to V1 minus V2 bracket square divided by 2G in this way. I hope the case for head loss due to sudden expansion or sudden enlargement of the pipe, this actually clear to you. Let us move towards the next case, that is loss of head due to sudden contraction. This is the reverse case we have seen. Whatever the case we have seen earlier, and this case is the reverse one. Okay, so in previous case the sudden expansion takes place, in this case sudden contraction takes place. Okay, so consider a liquid flowing in a pipe which has sudden contraction in area. Consider two sections, 1 1 and 2 2. Okay, so this 1 1 is nothing but the before contraction, and this indicate the after contraction. Okay, as the liquid flows from large pipe to smaller pipe, the area of flow goes on decreasing and becomes minimum at section CC. This CC is called vena contracta. After section CC, sudden enlargement of the area takes place. The loss of head due to sudden contraction is actually due to sudden enlargement from vena contracta to smaller pipe. Let AC area of flow at section CC, BC velocity of flow at section CC, A2 velocity of flow at section 22, then HC loss of head due to sudden contraction. Now HC is nothing but the actual loss of head due to enlargement from section CC to section 22. Already we have seen this relation. Okay, so VC is minus this one V2 bracket square divided by twice G. So already we have seen this relation. Okay, so instead of giving suffix 1 here, we can just replace that by CC, because at vena contracta we are considering that point. Okay, so from this we can write this relation this way by taking this V2 by V2 square by twice G as common. Okay, so this relation will changes in this way, VC divided by V2 minus 1 whole bracket square. From continuity equation we know this relation, we can apply the continuity equation in between these 2 points. Okay, so in between this CC section and section at point 2. Okay, so AC multiplied by VC equals to A2 multiplied by V2. From this relation we can write in this way, VC divided by V2 equals to A2 divided by AC. Now we can write in this way, 1 upon AC divided by this one A2, the meaning is same, equals to 1 upon CC. Okay, so this 1 upon CC, sorry, this one CC is nothing but here AC divided by A2. Okay, substituting the value of VC divided by V2 in equation number 1. Equation number 1 is here. Okay, we have to replace this one, this term by this one CC. Then just see what changes will come in that relation. VC equals to V2 square divided by twice G, 1 upon CC. Instead of this term, we have to just replace that term by CC. 1 upon CC minus 1 whole bracket square. Okay, will come here. Now this must be equals to K multiplied by V2 square divided by twice G, where this K is nothing but this term. Okay, this term means this bracket we have considered. Okay, so for this we will just consider term as K. Okay, so this V2 square divided by twice G, this term will remains as it is. Now if the value of CC is assumed to be equal to 0.62, then you can write the value for this K in this way, K equals to 1 upon 0.62 minus 1 whole bracket square. We can get the value for K as 0.375. then HC becomes as HC equals to K into V2 square divided by twice G. You have to replace this K by this term, so 0.375 multiplied by V2 square divided by twice G. If the value of CC is not given, then the head loss due to contraction is taken as 0.5 into V2 square divided by twice G, or HC equals to 0.5 into V2 square divided by twice G. If the value of the CC is not given, then we have to use this formula. Okay, then move towards our next case, loss of head due to an obstruction in a pipe. Whenever there is an obstruction in a pipe, the loss of energy takes place due to reduction of area of the cross section of pipe at the place where obstruction is present. There is sudden enlargement of area of flow beyond the obstruction, due to which loss of head takes place, as shown in this figure. Okay, now consider a pipe of cross section A having an obstruction in this way. Let small a maximum area of obstruction, capital A indicate area of pipe, B indicate the velocity of liquid in pipe, then A is nothing but the area of the pipe minus small a indicate the maximum area of obstruction. Okay, so is equals to area of flow of liquid at section 1 as liquid flows and passes through the section 1 a vena contracta is formed beyond section 1 after which the stream of liquid widens again and velocity of flow at section 2 becomes uniform and equal to velocity V in the pipe. This situation is similar to the flow of liquid through sudden enlargement. Let Vc equals to velocity of liquid at vena contracta, then loss of head due to obstruction equals to loss of head due to enlargement from vena contracta to section 2. So this must be equals to Vc minus V divided by twice G. Okay, so bracket square of this actually a difference of velocity at vena contracta and at last point. Okay, from conduit equation we have AC multiplied by Vc equals to A multiplied by this one V, where this AC is the area of cross section at vena contracta. If Cc is coefficient of contraction, then Cc equals to area at vena contracta divided by A minus A. Okay, so this A is nothing but the area cross section area of the pipe, and this is the area of that obstruction. Okay, now we can just write this relation this way: AC divided by A minus A. So from this one we can get the AC equals to Cc multiplied by A minus capital A minus small a. Now substituting the value of this values in equation number 2. So you have to replace this AC by this term. Okay, so we can get this in this way: Cc multiplied by A minus A multiplied by this Vc equals to A multiplied by V. So from this relation we can get the Vc equals to this term goes in denominator. Okay, or Vc this term goes in denominator. Okay, so we can get Vc equals to this one. Now substituting this value of Vc in equation number 1, so you have to substitute this one Vc here, so we can get this in this way: head loss due to obstruction, that is Vc minus V whole bracket square divided by twice G. So you have to replace this Vc by this term, okay, minus V bracket square divided by twice G, simply by this one. Okay, so we can get this one in this way: V square divided by twice G equals to V square divided by twice G multiplied by in bracket A divided by Cc multiplied by this A minus A minus 1 bracket square. So in this way you can get the head loss due to obstruction. Let us move towards next one: loss of head due to bend in pipe. When there is any bend in pipe, the velocity of flow changes, due to which the separation of flow from the boundary and also formation of eddies takes place. Thus the energy is lost. Loss of head in pipe due to bend is expressed as Hb equals to K into V square divided by twice G, where Hb equals to loss of head due to bend. So V equals to velocity of flow, K indicate the coefficient of bend. The values of K depends on angle of bend, radius of curvature of bend, and third point, diameter of pipe. Let us move towards the next point, that is loss of head in various pipe fittings. The loss of head in the various pipe fittings such as walls, couplings, etc. is expressed as kV square divided by twice G, where V equals to velocity of flow, K indicate the coefficient of pipe fitting. I hope that loss due to velocity of following fluid in magnitude or direction is clear to you. That is minor loss of energy. Thank you.